And we're live.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, and we're live. Y'all, what's goody, everybody? Oh, yes, what's goody, everybody? Yo, y'all, back at y'all with another banger. You see what I'm saying? Back at y'all with another banger. This is the In Your Face show, and I'm here live with my main man, Jay Portello.
Peralta, but that's close enough.
Peralta, whatever, you know what I'm saying? you know, but see, I got to, you know what I'm saying? I got to get you. I got to get you, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I gotta show you what the love is, brother. So
Nice.
I come with the love and I come to show you love, and I want you to introduce yourself to the people, whoever watching.
So my name is Jay Peralta, otherwise known in the art community as Atramessa Art. I've been a digital artist for about 12 years now. I basically travel extensively around the country, doing Comic Cons, doing shows, and doing freelance stuff on the side. And that's about it. I'm one of those digital assassins out there.
Okay. So how many years have you been doing this shit? Doing
So art
this. Yeah.
in general, I've been doing art for about 14 years. Basically, when I got into the military, that's when I really started pushing it. I mean, before that, when I
Mm-hmm.
was younger, I always did, drew and whatever. But then I got into digital art way back in the early days. I'm talking like when Photoshop first came out, when it was just nothing there. It was just a black and white screen. And I just fell in love with it. And since then, every time a new one came out, I got it. I messed with it. And when I got out the military back in '04, I just started doing freelance stuff like for anybody, whoever wanted stuff, music, bands, stuff like that. Because I've always been in bands, so that was one of the main things that got me into. Was I started doing well. I don't have to hire nobody to do stuff for my band because I'm gonna do it. Then other bands
Right.
wanted me to do stuff, and it just snowballed from there. And it just became this whole thing. Like just became a love thing.
I feel you. I feel you. So what was your first piece of work when you got into the comic book industry? What is it that got you in the door?
So it's funny because before I got into doing like the Comic Cons,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that there were so many. I only
Right,
knew of
right.
New York Comic Con and San Diego Comic Con. And I've gone to New York Comic Con for years as a fan. Like I brought my daughters there when they were young. I went myself and that's all I knew. And a buddy of mine's son of a saint, Angel Lopez, who funny enough was in one of the bands with me. I'm the one that actually got him into doing digital art and showed him the ropes, got him the programs. He was doing shows for a couple of months before I started, and he was like, "Yo, let's just just get some prints of your stuff and just start going out there. Like people would love that stuff." And I was like, "Go watch shows." Like I didn't understand what he was talking about. So we did a local show in Long Island, and that was like my first taste of it. And I didn't know what I was doing. I had like PVC pipe for a backdrop, and I had like these cheap prints that I just printed out myself, and people loved it. Like people were like, "Oh, give me that," and I was like, that this could be something I make money with. Like I never was like too much into like the fan art type stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what opened the door for it. And then from there, it just snowballed where I just started doing shows, and I started getting invited to bigger shows. I started becoming guests at shows. I started growing a following, and it got to the point where pre-COVID, I was doing about 40 shows a year. Like I was literally traveling 3 weekends a month, every month. But that's where it all started from. Just like, yo, let's just go out to one of these shows, see what people want to into your stuff and stuff like that.
Right,
Back then, I
right,
had more original of my original art, but back then, no one wanted that kind of stuff. They wanted the superhero stuff.
right. See, and this is the thing, when it comes to comic stuff, you can be when it comes to your line of art, your line of the way you're doing it, you
Hmm.
can go many different places with it, many different
Oh yeah,
areas, many different, you know what I'm saying? Like you could go digital, you could go portrait, you could go, you know what I mean, like original art. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like Picasso type shit. Yeah,
I mean,
shit
I
like
still
that.
do my original art and throw it in there. They'll be like in one of my books, and now it's gotten to the point where people, I kind of have somewhat of a name. I mean, I'm not big by anything like, but people recognize me at shows, and they'll start buying the original art that when I first started nobody wanted.
Right. I understand. I understand. It's a learning curve. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest too, you have to master it. And what I mean by master it, take the time out. Not saying you per se. I'm saying anybody that is coming into a certain industry. That industry, you have to master that that talent that you're coming in with, whether it is dance, whether it is rap, whether it is art. You have to
Right.
master your craft, because if you do not master your craft and you just put out anywhere, presentation is very important.
Oh,
Your first
absolutely.
yes, your first presentation is your own is could can be your only presentation. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
mean,
it's like,
speaking of just like when you say presentation, like just in terms of like the Comic Con stuff, to put it
yeah,
into perspective, like when I first started, I didn't have books, I didn't have sleeves, I just had it all laid out on the table. And hindsight now, when I look at it, I'm like, that just looks like a discombobulated, sloppy mess.
right,
And I learned where, just watching other people, see what other people do, what at the beginning art is like, oh, you got to have a backdrop. You got to have your sleeves in there. You got to have your art book so they can flip through your books. You got to have everything nice and organized and neat, because if someone goes to a table and everything's just thrown everywhere, they don't even know where to start looking for stuff. So
right.
even just in that sense, the presentation was super important. And like, when now that I've been doing this for so many years, and like if I go to a show and there's someone who's just started and they start asking me questions, I'm one of those type of people where if you ask me a question or you ask me for advice or well, how you do this, how you do that, I am more than happy to share my information. Like I'm not one of those like I'm not telling you my secrets. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a question, I got an answer for you. Like if it comes down to, oh, what kind of paper do you use? What kind of printers you got? How do you do this? How do you do that? I'm more than happy to help somebody, because I wish back then someone would have did that for me.
Exactly. It's like having a, to be honest with you, it's like having an OG that has been through all of what you're going through. Somebody that
Mm.
has been through every little thing that you're going through right now. They've done it past tense. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They've done it. You know what I'm saying? And you want them to teach you the ropes, teach you everything that they did, how they got where they got where they wanted to be, and how they do it. Man, look, that's why I said in every industry you got OGs. Not
mm,
everybody comes in this business with the OG on a hit, talking to them. You know what I'm saying? Teaching them about the oohs and ahs, the do's and don'ts in the industry. You know
yep,
what I'm saying? And some come in with the fucking just don't care attitude and just put out just any old thing. No, you don't just put out any old thing, because people are watching. You don't know who's watching.
yep,
So you want to put your very fucking best you can do, best you got out there, because if you do not put your best out there, you won't get the best response and the best results
absolutely.
that you want. You won't get the sales. You won't get this. You won't get that. But the thing about it is, you see, it's like in the industry. It's like like in for example, music industry. You see a
Mm.
lot of people without. You see a lot of people don't get the record deal that they want, because some of them put out lousy ass work. You
Oh
got
yeah.
to be there night and day. You know what I'm saying? Take a break, but be in there grinding, going
There's
at it.
something to say. I was saying, hard work always beats lazy talent.
Hell yeah. Hard work and
And
dedication. You know what I
you could
mean?
have two bands, both equally talented, but if one band is just throwing their stuff out there, they don't care how it's recorded. They don't. They just throw it out there like, oh, I'm whatever. I'm this good. I'm just gonna throw it out there. And then you have the other band who puts the time in to get it recorded nice, puts the money in to do this, get it engineered and stuff. It's gonna sound so much better, and then that's what people are gonna gravitate to because it just sounds better to the ear. And when it comes to like the art stuff, you want something that's gonna be pleasant to the eye. Like when you want people walking by, you want them to stop and be like, "Oh, what's that?" And then from from what's that, it goes to what else you got.
Exactly. What else you got? How much you doing? You got to have something that catches the eye of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't have something that catches the eye of the people, then you're gonna be rushing around, talking to people, you know, like it's like that's what I'm saying. Like a closed mouth don't get fed. You have a lot of guys in this industry that don't do shit, that don't want to go out there and put in the hard work. They rather for it to come fast and easy. See, fast and easy, it'll come, but it'll deteriorate over time, quicker.
Okay.
But when you
It, it,
work,
it, it, it takes a lot of work and a lot of grind to get to that point where it's fast and easy. Some people just
yeah,
want to skip to the fast and easy part, and
right.
it
But
just
when
doesn't work out.
it's like, yeah, it's like fast and easy, deteriorate fast, right? But when
Mm-hmm.
you get it slowly and you grow into it and you begin to eat slowly, you don't want to eat fast because what happens when you eat fast? You choke and you. But
Mm-hmm.
what happens when you eat slow and you begin to enjoy the food, begin to enjoy
Exactly.
your, you know what I'm saying? And it's like you have to be able to enjoy your food. That's what food is all about. You have to taste it, enjoy it, taste the ingredients in it. That way
Mm-hmm.
it'll keep you coming back for more. Think about it. It's like,
Oh yeah.
okay, not many people understand what that means. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are regurgitating the good ingredients out of the food. You know what I'm saying? They're not tasting their food. They're not enjoying it. They just get it, and then get fat off of it. Ah, shit. I want to get fat and get fit off of it and enjoy my food. You know what I
I mean,
mean?
when it comes to food, I think because of my military days, they train me to you don't taste it, you just eat it. So
Yeah, that
my wife hates that because whenever we go out to eat, like we're eating dinner, and I'm just like, okay, I'm done. All right, can we go now? She's like, I barely started eating my food. I'm like, well, I'm done already, so I want to go.
right. See, and that's what I'm saying. You don't get to enjoy it. You
Hmm.
don't get to understand the emphasis on food. You want to feed yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to throw it back up and choke off of it because you could die like that. You know what I'm saying? You could get taken out of the
But
game
that
like that.
and then you want to enjoy, like, if staying with the food analogy, like you want to enjoy how the cook prepared the food. That you want to enjoy
Exactly.
the experience in it, and like again, like when it comes to art, like you want. It's always that cliche saying, like when you buying art, you're not just buying like a $10 print. You're buying the years and the sweat and the grind and the growing that went into that,
Exactly.
being able to make
Ex-
that $10 print.
exactly. And that is what the buyer do not understand.
Hmm.
A person who has grinded and fought for what they're doing understands buying product. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's why you understand fighting for something and earning it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And besides just getting it and not appreciating it. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
That's what I'm
absolutely.
saying. Like when it comes to the fast life, you get it all fast and all. You don't appreciate it. You don't be gratified by it. You don't feel love. You don't love it. See, at least when you eat food slow, you get to love it. You get to eat it. You get to enjoy it. You get to taste how tender the meat is, how succulent the eggs is, how
I think
beautiful.
a lot of that also is like the newer generations are more into instant gratification than actually, enjoying stuff. I'm not saying that's everybody, but a lot of them are like that, where it's just instant gratification. Everything is right now, right now, right now. So
Exactly.
people that grow up like that, when it comes time to put in work, they want instant. They want right now, right now, right now. They don't have either the mindset or just the patience to grow it slowly, to grind it out, because they just want that instant gratification, that instant success, which is like lightning in a bottle. That that only happens rarely.
Exactly. And well, this is what I noticed. You know what I'm saying? When you get it fast, it don't last. It don't last long. You know how when you eat certain food fast, it comes out of you fast.
Hmm.
It goes right through you
Oh yeah,
because you ate it too damn fast,
trust me. I'm
and you
I'm,
didn't.
I'm driving down the road, stopping these rest stops, and just grabbing a quick bite. Trust me, I know exactly how that goes.
Yeah, you try to eat it, and it goes right through you. That's like, okay, for example, okay, making money. Okay, you make that fast money, right? And you
Hmm.
spend it too fast. What happened? You're gonna feel broke. You're gonna be like, damn. And then
Oh yeah.
something gonna come up, and you're gonna want something that you want. And you ain't gonna have the money to buy it. You'll be like, damn, I should have saved that money. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I would have got what I wanted.
Give me one
You
second. Give me
know,
one second.
do you think? Do you think, brother?
My cat was in the room crying, trying to get out.
It's all right, man. It's all right.
She was screaming at me down there.
But yeah, that's exactly the way things is, man. Because you gotta see it from to see if see what people don't understand. When you're an artist, you're starving. You're
Mhm.
fighting for and with other people to get where you want to be. Everybody else want to be in your spot. Everybody else want that spot, so they're going to try to get it before you get it. But some are not going to appreciate it more than you do. Some
That's the right. That's I mean, how I say it. That's the attitude that everyone should have. I want to be number one or I want to be the best, but I also feel like, and this is just in terms of connecting when you're with other artists or talking to other artists. There's also a right way to compete for with each other and stuff like that, and then there's a wrong way. And I always appreciate the artists and just people in general that do it the right way. And that's how you build uh, friendships. That's how you network. That's how you build connections. Instead of the people that are just like, I'm just gonna f everybody else. I'm just worried about me and stuff like that. Those end up being the ones that they come to a show and you see them in that booth and you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to hear this asshole right now for the next 3 days and stuff like that. Instead of where you have like a community where everybody wants, at the end of the day, they want that dollar that's in that wallet of that consumer.
all right.
But there's a right way and a wrong way to compete, and a right
Mm-hmm.
way and a wrong way to do things. And like I'm one of those people. If I'm at a show and say someone asks me, "Oh, do you have Ninja Turtles?" I don't have any. I don't do Ninja Turtle art. But if I know an artist that does, and they've been cool to me, I'm sending them to them. I'm like, there's a dope artist over whatever. He's got some dope Ninja Turtle stuff. Go check it out. But if you're someone who's just like, that's everybody or whatever, I ain't sending nobody over to you.
Exactly. It's all about me type of attitude. You ain't gonna get nowhere because if you think about it, and you really, 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 really on a scale of building building an empire, if you're the king, right, you're gonna need servants. You're gonna need people that's gonna help you build. You're gonna need your army to help you build that kingdom. You ain't
Mhm.
gonna build your on your own. You won't be able to. You'll tire yourself out. So building something because you want some is one thing I learned, right, about being a businessman.
Mhm.
Always have in order to build a successful business, you got to have somebody smarter than you on your team. Because if you don't
Mm.
have people smarter than you don't want to have no dumb motherfucker on your team thinking that they know shit, and when they don't, and then your shit crumble on the side of them trying to think they know everything, know the shit. You want somebody that's
Yeah.
smart and that knows what they're talking about, knows what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? That can do other things that you can't do. You know what I'm saying? And you want to build a successful team like that because there are things you won't be able to, even if you know how to do it. You want to take the pressure off of you so you can focus on one thing at a time
Mm.
because you don't want to just focus on that this that art colors and art and inking and lettering. You don't want to just focus on both of those things. I get it. You want to people want the whole accolades of I did all of this shit, but how
I
long
mean,
did
it's
it
always
take?
nice if you make a friend or a buddy or a connection with someone that might or say they do something strongly that you do weakly. You want to be able to be like reach out to them like, well, how do you suggest I do this or any advice on that? But you can only get
Right.
that way by making a connection with them, and being positive and all that.
Mhm. Mhm.
And yeah, I always tell people it's easier to climb over a wall when you got people working together, lifting each other up and pull each other up, than just trying to like knock everybody down and then climb over them. Like
Exactly, and
there's
that's
no reason why everybody can't eat. There's no reason why everybody can't have some food on the table at the end of the day.
right, and that exactly, and that's why you know it's about taking washing one hand and the other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you, it's like me, I do this show because I'm washing people's feet. That's taking care of your brother. That's taking care of your sister. That's taking care of those, and in return, they'll wash my feet. In turn, they'll wash another person's feet. In turn, they'll wash another person's feet in love. You get what I'm saying? That way, we
Positivity
all
always finds a way to just keep continuing. It just reaches out, and you don't know. At the end of the day, you might have did something for someone, and they ended up doing for something for someone way out over there, and you don't know, and they don't know that the whole reason why that happened for them is because you at one point you did something for that person way back then.
ex- exactly, and that will come back around because what's done goes around and comes around.
Mhm.
And if you do something positive to somebody, it's going to go around and then it's going to come around back to you. But
Yeah.
if you do something negative, it's going to come around and it's going to go back around and it's going to bite your ass and eat your ass alive. That's what I learned from God, from family, from people that I interact with, whether it is negatively, whether it's positively. If you give a negative result, you're going to get negative results. If you give a positive react,
Mhm.
you're going to get a positive result. You know, and that is why when it comes to doing art, it's like meeting a girl. You know what I'm saying, for the first time.
Mhm.
You want to do the things that impress her. You know what I'm saying. You want to do the things that make her smile. You know what I'm saying, that make her feel good. You know, and building that rapport with her. It's like if she's like a flower. If you water that flower on time and you treat it with love and you treat it with care, then that flower will bloom and it will reciprocate and give you back that love that you have given it
Mhm.
tenfold over.
I mean, for me, like one of the best feelings is, like I said, I've been doing like the Comic Con thing for about 5 years now,
Hmm.
and when I go to certain shows, it might not even be the same show, but maybe the same general area, and it'll be someone who I met when I first started, still coming to me, be like, "Oh, just how you've grown, your stuff, the difference, the elevation in your stuff," and they just keep coming back, and having that connection with a fan like that, where they were there when you first started, and now they always like, "Oh, are you going to be at this show? Or I'm bringing this person, or this, or I got to grab that from you." That always makes me as an artist and like that feel good, because it's like you build that connection with that person, and it makes you feel like you're somebody. You know, I always tell people, I'm nobody, but it makes you feel like you're somebody.
And see, that's the thing, though, bro. You are somebody, and why I say that is self worth is what bring people to knowing you. If you know your worth, if you know that you're not going to lower your standards because you see everybody else lowering their standards, self
Mm.
worth is recognized by those who have self worth as well.
Or how you carry
Huh.
yourself matters. When I say I'm a
Exactly.
nobody, I just mean in terms of like credits in the industry, like work in comic books and stuff. That's what I meant by like I'm nobody compared
Oh,
to like somebody else.
oh yeah, yeah. I feel you. I feel what you're saying. I just wanted to go off on that tangent.
Mm. Oh no, but
But
I mean, but it's true. Like how you view yourself is how others are going to view you. I mean, that goes for
exactly,
anything.
exactly. And see, this is the thing too. People as a whole, we tend to get in this industry and we begin to see everybody else. Say like for example, you see how the comic book industry been going, how guys price their books $1.50, and no, you're not gonna make product off. You're not gonna make profit off of that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If your book is, I say, 28 pages and something like that, but you put more effort and more blood, sweat, and tears into that shit, nigga, price whatever you want to price.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Price whatever you want to price. Don't care about what anybody said. If they can't buy it, they can't fucking buy it. Go to the next one. Somebody around, somebody, some way is going to buy that. And at conventions, man, what? Conventions, they're going to buy it. Because you always got that one person that has money to spend. I don't
Mhm.
want to hear about that. Oh, uh, at conventions you barely can sell. That's bullshit. I never been to a convention, and I know that's bullshit. You just lazy enough. You just lazy. You don't want to get out there and work. You don't want to get out there and go up to the customer and say and talk to them, get to know them a little bit. Be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I got this product. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you saw Jarhead or not, but show them your product, show them
Mhm.
how good it is, and then hit them with the punchline. Then bang, killer instinct, got him,
So,
easy.
so for me, there's two perspectives that go into that, um, and you got to be able to do both. And for some people that I've seen in just on my side at shows, the people that can't do both don't succeed. So one is you can't price your stuff com- based on around what's around you or someone else that does art prints. So like I base my art my prints prices on what I know how much it costs me, what profit I'm comfortable with, and the level where I'm at where I know okay someone's going to come and buy this. You know,
Right,
so I'm not going to sell a print for 25 $30 because the average person doesn't know me. So they're
right,
not going to spend 25 $30 on me. So that's
right.
one aspect where you got to know your worth. You got to know what people are willing to spend on you, and find your comfort level. Well, this is what I'm going to price my stuff at. The second thing now is if you're at a show, and usually after you can tell as a vendor, artist, whatever, what kind of show it is. So if it's one of those shows where the people just aren't spending money and they're being super picky, super anal about it. How do I say it? That person that's selling that print for 25 $30, if they're at that show and they're not willing to say, you know what, I could sell this print for 15, 20 and still make great profit, because let's face it, I know how much a print costs me. So
Right.
it should be similar to them. And then I know that print didn't cost them at most $2 to $3.
Exactly.
Like you got to be willing to be like, okay, this is a show where I need to be priced at 15, 20. and I'll sell. But some people just want to die on their sword and be like, no, my stuff is 30 and I'm not budging on that. And then they don't make no money. And then they sit there mad looking at other people or other vendors, other artists making money because they were willing to say, okay, I can come down a little bit because this is the level where the show is at. So I always told people like you got to be able to do both those things if you want to succeed. Like you can't just be like, I'm going to die on my sword and then complain after that you didn't make no money. You know, because at the
Exactly.
end of the day, you know that print only costs you $2 to make. So you telling me you can't take 15 for it? You gotta have 30. Then no one's gonna buy it because that's not a show
Exactly.
where 30 sells. You know, there are shows where that 30 will go out the door like water, and that's awesome. Like I've done shows where you know, if I do like a specialty print, like say if I do like a holographic print, I'll sell my holographic print for $25, and it'll just go, you know, they're gone the first day. But you got to know what shows you're able to do that at.
Right. Right.
So
And that is why as a person is it's not what people think you can do or should do. It's what you think of yourself and how you should do it, what you want to do.
mm,
Because if you take your price down for another person, for the person that's trying to buy it, what they're going to, that's like going back on what you did. That's like what you've done for what the hard work you put in. That's like saying that you didn't put that hard work in. That's like saying, you know, like you did it in vain. Like you just did it just to do it. And no,
I mean, you can't. I told people you can't think that way. Um, but also, like I said, it's there's levels. Like it's not. You can't just go be like if you're selling something for 25, you're not just selling it at 5.
right,
You got to find your comfort level where okay, I'm comfortable if I sell this for this amount.
right,
That would be what you go down to.
exactly,
So if you're say if I'm comfortable, okay, I want these prints. Like if I get 15 for this print, I'm good. So I'm gonna sell it at 20. And then if I have to, depending on how everything's going, if I go down to 15, I'm still good because that was my number.
right,
So like I said, it's a balance. Like you can't just go if you go from 25 to 5, 100%, you're gonna feel like, you know, why did I even do this for like I'm just devaluing myself.
exactly. And you know it's crazy too.
You gotta find that middle ground. You gotta, like I told you, you know, if you gotta lower it a little bit at a show, that's not devaluing yourself. That's you finding the point where you can succeed for that show.
Right,
But you gotta be able to have that mentality to look at it that way and be like, well, you know, next show, I'll go back to normal and hopefully, God willing, it'll be like normal. But there are people out there that will refuse to go down $1, and they're selling this stuff 25, 30, and they don't make no money. And then I gotta be there at the show where they're evil eyeing me and, you know, giving me dirty looks because I'm making money because I
right.
I went down a little bit.
And I tell you what though, I say forget them because it's not their fault. It's not my fault that they didn't make no goddamn money.
Oh,
They went through the
100%.
same. Right,
100%. I don't let it bother me. They can look all they want. But in my head, because when I first started, I was like that. And when I first started, I'm like, no, this is my price and I'm not budging and I'm not budging. Like, why should I had that? Like, if I sell it for less, then what's the point? And then
hmm
I've done shows where I literally went to a show and I only made like 50, $60 for the whole weekend. And I didn't even cover my gas. And after I had like one or two of those, that's when I had to have like a come to Jesus talk with myself and be like, yo, like you got to start. There's got to be levels to your success in terms of what you're willing to accept, what you're willing to do, because you can't just be like it's 100%, but like, oh, not 100%. It's either I make all the money or I make no money.
Right.
I'd rather make either all the money or some of the money, but I definitely don't want to ever leave there with no money.
Right. And that's why I'd say to people, you got to be willing to go out there and fight for yours. Because if you
Oh, yeah.
don't fight for it and if you don't go get it, it's not going to be done. It's not going to be coming to you. You know what I'm saying?
And it also comes down to you, because if you are at a show and you're just sitting behind your table on your phone looking down, and people are walking by, they stop, they see something, and when people do that, you got like 5 seconds to engage them. Because if
Right.
you don't
Right.
engage them, they're gonna be like, okay, whatever, and keep walking.
Right.
So if you got someone who's just in their booth, just on their phone, looking down, or just doing whatever and not paying attention, that's on you. That you didn't have a good show because you ignored everybody. That you wasn't going out there putting. So like, I'm very antisocial. I'm not a very social person. It takes a lot for me to be social. But when I'm at the shows, you guys, as soon as someone's in front of my booth, I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Oh, what caught your eye? Oh, what are you into? Stuff like that. Anything, like, just say something. If you
Right.
get ignored, you get ignored. Whatever. But at least you could say to yourself, I said something. Like I didn't ignore them.
Right.
But there's a ton of people that do that. They just sit behind the table on their phone, or even like traditional guys. They'll just be there drawing, and that's awesome. But I mean, you got to pay attention to what's around you. And if you're by yourself and you're just drawing and you're not taking the time to look up every now and then, make sure someone's in front of you, that person is going to walk away. And then what are you drawing for? Because ain't no one going to see it because you're not interacting with anybody.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why I'm saying stop doing what you're doing and look up and
Hmm.
be alive and put a smile on your fucking face. Put a smile on your face because if you don't put a smile on your face, they're not gonna like it. They're not gonna like
I
what you're
tell you, I,
doing. You know
I
what
I missed when the shows when the shows had mask mandatory.
I mean?
That was awesome for me because I was like, I ain't got to smile, I ain't got to do nothing, I ain't got to laugh. I just got to look, make eye contact, and talk because they don't got to see, they can't see my face underneath. I don't got to be like, you know, putting a smile out there, nothing. So I was liking it when they had the mask on. I was like, I could just chill, I just look, make eye contact, and say something. Now it's back to no mask again. So now I gotta be, I can't just be behind my table looking all pissed off and
Hmm.
make,
Right. And right. And that's to be too like it's about eye contact too as well. It's not
oh,
about trying
100%.
to. It's about that eye contact. You look them in the eye, and either you give them a handshake or you say hello. How you doing today? Shit like that. How may I help you?
Hmm.
And such and such. What you like? You like anything? And then bang, hit them with that good shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta speak with a surety and know what the hell you're saying. And if they say what is this book about, then you tell them about it. Tell them about
Hmm.
what it's about. Tell them about such and such and such. Tell them about this character, yada yada yada. Then there you go. You in there like swimwear. Then all of a sudden, they're like, that sounds like a catchy idea. Then you rear them in, and then you be like, yo, and then you amp up the sale, yo, like what you think on what I
Yeah,
should do.
some of these comic guys, like the independent ones that are at these shows,
Hmm.
they got that stuff down to a science. Like as soon as they got you walking in front of them, they're interacting with you, and they're able to give you like the quick 20-second synapses, or basics, to get you interested in the book. Like I've been at shows just walking around, and I've been stopped by them, and I've ended up buying something because what they told me in those first 30, 40 seconds. And then I like, you know, it's funny to say, but you know, the covers are the first thing you see. So if it's a dope
Mm-hmm.
cover and what they said interested me, you know, I'm gonna buy it. And
Exactly.
so like I I wouldn't be able to do that as if I had like my own comic book and have to do that much of an interaction with somebody. I'd be fumbling over my words. I'd be, oh man, I got to say this over and over again. So I give it up to those guys that are able to do that, because I know I wouldn't be able to do that, or it'd be like super hard for me to do that.
See, and this is the thing. This is the thing. When you're a talkative person and you're a person that loves the spotlight, you know what I'm saying? Like me, for example, I love the spotlight. I love it.
Mhm.
You know, what I'm saying? I get into it from in front of a person and they ask me what about Jarhead. So I love Jarhead. I love when I did it. I'm in love with this shit. Like when you like
And you
for
could always
example,
tell when someone is super enthusiastic about their stuff,
exactly.
and that's a huge what's the word?
Huge.
I don't want to say turn on, but that's like a huge thing. Like if someone is super enthusiastic about their book, it makes you want to
Hmm.
check it out. Whereas if
Exactly.
someone says, "There, oh, this is my comic book, check it out," and you're like, "Okay, but what is it about?" or whatever, and that's all you get from them, chances are they're not
Exactly.
going to check out the book.
Chances are they're gonna check you out. See, and this is the thing. That's like a Christian man. If you they don't have to read the Bible in order to understand being a Christian. They
Mhm.
watch you because you're living it. And when they're gonna watch you determine if they become a Christian or if they learn about being a Christian. They want to know about Christ. You're the representation. You're representing them. All they got to do is watch you. And if
And
you're
and and,
representing
and
them,
it encompasses everything, like your body language, your facial
ex-
expressions, you know,
exactly.
just how you moving, like,
Hmm.
and like you said, you know, someone knows you're a Christian or not a Christian, or like that. But that goes for anything. That goes for any type of job. That goes for any type of
Hmm.
interaction. When you're talking to somebody and they got that sus body language, that sus, just the way they talk, and you can tell that they're not really caring about what they're
Enthusiastic.
saying.
Exactly.
It gives you those bad vibes, that bad juju. And you like, you know what? That's cool and Obama head that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna head this way, man. Fuck that. You ain't on it. But see, and that's the thing, man. And that's how you notice about with people, man. And that's why I said, like, I'm gonna do an interview. I'm gonna do an interview and be like, yo, I'm gonna do an interview right now. Hello, how are you doing today? You know what I'm saying? You want to know about the book? Okay. Jarhead is about a Marine, a man slash angel who is out for the killing of his parents, for the killer, out for judgment, for the killing of his
Mhm,
parents. But along the way, he meets God to teach him how to extract vengeance and true vengeance on the wicked, on the people who killed his parents and everything.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how you break it down. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That
Yeah,
is it. That's easy. Justice. You know what I'm saying? Justice for the killing of his parents. And, you know what I'm saying? Bang, 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 bang. You know what I'm saying? You get that all down. And when you get it all down, you were like, okay, memorize it. And you got to sound enthusiastic. You got to put some hype into it because if you don't
hmm
put no hype into it, they're not going to be like, oh, shit, no. And see if you got a video thing for the people to see, a preview video, Nick,
yeah.
man, they're like swimwear, man.
Oh, that
If it's
that
good.
is like, even just for me, um, the video, like I said, it's all visuals. Everything is, especially when you had a show, it's 90% visual, and then your when you talk to them. But the visuals, what's going to be the first thing that stops them. And me, you know, being a digital artist, it's a little bit harder for me to show them the visual because I work digitally. I'm not drawing. I have to show on a pen and paper because I draw on my screen. So like
Hmm.
I have a tablet now that has my whole process on there, and I just have it playing. And what I'll do, like, I don't know if you're familiar with anime.
Yeah, I love anime.
So Nezuko from Demon Slayer, like one of my favorite pieces I've done. Super requested all the time. So that's she's usually page one in my anime book. So I'll have a page one. I'll put the tablet right in front of the on top of the book in the back of the table with me making that piece. So people will stop because they'll be like, "Oh wait," they start looking at it. Oh, that was you? That's you making it? I was like, "Yeah." Then that's the whole process from start to finish. So you can see, what it's like, and you can see that it's not just pressing a button and it comes out. I'm there drawing it, painting it. It's just the only difference is instead of it's a pencil on paper, it's a stylus on a screen. But I'm still doing it.
Right,
And like,
right.
and when I do my live streams, I don't know if you saw any old ones, but I don't hide nothing. Like I literally have my whole screen is you see my whole screen. Then I have a camera that's on me, and then I have a second camera that's down on my screen, so you see my hands.
Right,
So there's no smoke and mirrors. You're literally seeing everything that I'm doing, and
right,
people love that. They love seeing that process. And I think if you're a digital person, a digital artist, that's something you should do. Even if you just record, even if it's not like you're live on Twitch or whatever, but if you just record your process once, throw that video on a screen and just have, if you got an iPad, throw it on your iPad and just have your iPad there on the table. That is such a visually pleasing thing to see for people when they walking by, and for them to actually see the process. It makes them appreciate it because they'll be like, "Oh wait, this is actual art." I'm like, yeah, it's art. Like, might not be pen and paper, but it's still art.
right.
So
And
I think that's a huge thing that the video thing, like you said, like if you had like a video package or something.
right. And to be honest with you, like no, I said butterflies. I said like digital art is still art. You know what I'm saying? And pen and paper sometimes that shit gets annoying. Oh man, you get those smudges, you get those, when you put your arm and what I'm saying, smudge on the paper and then you gotta erase that. Yeah, I know, because I've done that for years, years and years. And then you gotta deal with the sketch pad, paper ripping, you gotta deal with,
I mean, both mediums have their pros and they have their cons.
hmm
There's no reason why both can't be successful. There's no reason why both can't coexist.
right,
I
right.
mean, even if you look at comics now in general, like Marvel, DC, Image, whatever, most of it is done digital now.
hmm And that's crazy.
Very few of them are still done old school paper to pen, pen to paper, pencil to paper. Maybe the preliminary sketch, but then what do? They scan that, they throw it in Illustrator, Photoshop, whatever program they're using, and they finish it there. And then like the
Exactly. That's
colorings are usually done digitally. Like it's just what it is now.
right,
But
right.
people don't like that sometimes.
And that's why I said it's okay because at the end of the day, everything that you're doing is to help you. It's not what people say nowadays. It's not what people say. It's what you do that will get them surprised and want to buy your shit.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said like it's all about execution and presentation. You know what I'm saying? Execute your plan, execute and get to your goal and fucking kick that door in. That's what you do because if you don't kick that door in, somebody gonna kick it in for you,
hmm
and they're gonna take what was there for. They're gonna take the treasure that was there for you instead of yeah. They're gonna take that treasure that was there for you and run with it. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? And you don't want that. And that is why being a comic artist is it's not hard. It's easy because I want to say, and I'm gonna just say it like this: it's 60 to 70% entertain, 60 to 70% execution and presentation,
Mm.
but 30% drawing and writing. Why I say that is because you could draw the best shit and still don't make no money.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You can draw the worst shit and make a lot of motherfucking money. But it's all about presentation and execution.
I agree 100%. I just don't like the word worse. Like for me, I hate when people will be at a show and they'll be like, "Oh, this guy's dope, but that guy's trash." I'm like, it's not trash. Everybody has different styles. That style might not appeal to you, but that style will appeal to someone else.
No, no. What I mean by worse is like this: is like art that is not. You could I could see I have an eye for art. You could
Mhm.
tell that it was half-ass drawn.
Okay,
You
I
could
get what you mean now. Okay,
yeah, and I could tell from it being half-ass and not done with heart and soul. You know what I'm saying?
you
And a lot of
you
it
can tell when something took 10, 15 minutes and when something took hours.
exactly because when something is taking hours, you put time into it. You study the anatomy. It's like drawing a body, like drawing a character. You take
Mhm.
see I see how I learned how to do bodies very good is I study anatomy. You know, I studied the anatomy, the body, and everything. I studied what the body, how the body works, and how the body twists and turns, and all that shit. I
Mhm.
learned all of that. All of that. I learned all of that. That's it's easy. You know what I'm saying? I had a body anatomy book, but I lost it, or I gave it to somebody, and that's what fucked me up because I didn't know what to how to do it. And if you even if you look at your own body and look how your anatomy is, it's good to do that, but it's also hard to do that because your body is only but so much you do with it. You know what I'm saying?
I always recommend people to get something like this. One of these figures. I'm trying to put it on the camera. Uh, the anatomy figure, so that way that it's posable, so you could put it in any type of position that you want, and
Hmm.
it just gives you and I because I struggle with anatomy. I'm not strong with anatomy. I'll freely admit that.
That's
But
why
when
I
you
say,
have like something like this where you could like move it around, it's a
hmm
huge help in terms of just okay, this is supposed to look like that, and if you even if you flash like a light on it, where the light source is coming from here, this part should be lighted up, this part should be dark. But again, you have to care. There's some people that don't care and they just make whatever, and it looks like that. Like this is part of getting something like this and investing in your craft is also a part of succeeding. Like you got to be able to invest in yourself to get better. Always learning. You can't just be like I'm the best and that's it. There's nothing else for me to learn. You got to be always willing to learn something new.
exactly. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, because me, I'm good with visuals. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Meaning like I'm good with seeing how the body is moving, how the body is built. You know what I'm saying? If I can't look at a figure like that, because
But you've
I'm
also
not
put in the time to learn.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? You've
So
also put you have to
you have that visual memory. This is how
exactly.
this is supposed
This
to
is
look.
how exactly. That's how you're supposed to do it, and how you're supposed to put your hand and see. Because if you're not able to do that, like, well, what happened is like even if you learn that and you master it, sometimes your mind will play tricks on you and it'll be like, oh, this is not like that. You know, then you have to reprogram your mind. So like, oh, well, this is how I do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way me per se. Like if I
Mhm.
stop doing something for a little while, like I'll get rusty at it. You know what I'm saying? And like for example, I haven't played basketball in Lord knows how long, right?
I'm with you on that. Those are my young days.
Yeah, it's been years, man. and I retired my shoes, right, my sneakers, right, but I still can dribble. I still can, you know, you know what I'm saying, do my
Mm.
damn thing. I'm just not good like I used to be because I stopped playing. You know what I mean? But as a man, as an artist, you should go through that. Like stop writing and everything. You're gonna have that mind block, that writer's mind block. You know what I'm saying? I have those all the time where I want to like say like for example, if I get something in my brain and I'm like, huh, why should I do that? Should I do that? Yeah, I should have done that. Then you'd be like, damn, I should have done that.
Mm.
That is, you know what I'm saying? That's yeah, like and then but you get these mind blocks where like you just freeze and like you don't get nothing out of it. You still try to think about what you want to do. You have the idea at the back of your mind, but you can't bring it up to be like to filter it out. You be like, damn, I can't think of nothing right now. Sure.
I've gone through many instances of artist block where I just in your head, okay, I want to work on this or I want to make this, but
Right,
you're
right.
just your brain is like, okay, but how do I go from A to B to C? And
Mm-hmm.
it's tough because it's very demoralizing. It's very like self inflicting wounds where you just you beat yourself down, and because you're beating yourself down, it just keeps getting worse and worse, and then you end up
Mm-hmm.
like I've gone stretches where it'll be a couple weeks. I don't even turn my computer on because I'm just like I turn it on. I say I'm going to work on something. I'm sitting there, and it's just like my mind just can't. How am I going to start this? How I go from here to here? And I'm just like, forget it, and I walk away. Right? It's a
Right.
very tough thing, and that happens to everybody. Like the writer's block, artist block, all that stuff. It's a very hard thing, the demeaning thing to go through. And like I said, and it's always almost always you're self-inflicting because you're the one beating yourself up about it,
Exactly. And
and
that's the
that's
way.
almost worse than someone else beating you up about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tough. And like you said, practice is a big thing to get past that. But you got
Exactly.
to find that motivation to practice. And sometimes
Yeah.
it's hard to find that motivation.
Because practice brings identity. You know what I'm saying? Why I
Mm,
say that is you could be practicing and you learn a new move, right? And then you're like, I could add that to my repertoire. And then that comes a new identity. You could be calling yourself, I could be calling myself the swagnificent one, right? But
mm,
then somebody see my new move and be like, nah, bro, you call yourself swagnificent, you could call yourself the swift one, the swift, you know what I'm saying? The swift one, the nasty, the you know what I'm saying? That's just the way things can be because you're building character through
mm.
practice. You get what I'm saying? You're building that, and if you think about it, practice is more than a game. It's more
Sometimes practice is more important than the game.
exactly because practice you're playing the game. You know what I'm saying? But people just not on the bleachers or in the seats. You're playing the game without the audience. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? You're learning how to hit that shot, learning how to hit that clutch shot at the end of the game. You know what I'm saying? But when you get into the real game, nigga, it's like butter, like you know what I'm saying? And you good. You just it's like, you know what I'm saying? You think Michael Jordan didn't practice late at night and day,
Oh
getting
yeah.
his shot down to become the greatest. He didn't become greatest overnight. He became the greatest by putting in that hard work and dedication. And during the game, it became like butter. Like
The
became
game was the easy part.
exactly. It was the very easiest part because he practiced that night and day. You know what I'm saying? He mastered his craft of basketball, just like we're mastering our crafts and being artists and being a writer and being a businessman. You have to master your craft and study some of those who have came before you. If you have an OG in your life
Mm.
that have been there before you, that's willing to teach you, listen to that man. Because if you're not gonna listen to her or him, then you're gonna fall flat on your face in the worst way. You're gonna think you because I've done this. You're gonna think that you've gotten up. You're gonna think that you on your way, and then something so little can come, and then you fall flat on your fucking face, and then
Like
you be like, damn,
it's having that an OG like that. Someone is super amazing. But I
right,
think you also need to have your circle. You got to have good people in your circle. Um,
exactly.
even
You
if
gotta
it's
have
your circle is small. Um,
exactly.
to
You gotta.
like give you an example, there was a few years ago where I quit art for about 3 years, like quit
Mm,
because like I said, I've been doing digital art for 14 years, just about.
right.
A few years ago, this is before I started doing shows. This is before I was doing con. This is when I was just doing my own art and stuff like that. And I had my laptop, my work laptop that I used to do work, and both I had two external drives. I had all my work, all my digital work, everything for the last at that point 10 years. All died.
Mm,
I literally lost 10 plus years of my art life gone, unrecoverable. Never get it back. Gone. Photoshop sessions, pictures, stock images that I took myself, everything gone. And it was so demoralizing for me that I literally just quit. Like if you go on my Instagram, I mean it's just years back now. It was constant content, posting, and then it hits a point where there's a 3 year gap where there was only like 10 posts, and they were just like me at a Mets game or whatever. Because I literally gave up, and the only thing that got me back into it, besides my wife, um, one son of a saying Angel Lopez, the one that I from the band days that I got into art. They we used to share some of our same like stocks and same files and stuff.
mm-hmm.
And then my best friend Joe, also from the band back then, and Andrew copied everything that he had, gave it to me. They were constantly on my ass. You got to get back into it. Get back into it. Don't just quit. You're too good to quit. You're too, just try and do something. And it took 3 years, but I finally, I bought a new computer. I got new gear. Started doing stuff again. And then that was actually when I started doing the shows. It was about a couple months after that, because they were like, "Well, try doing some fan art. Try do, you love Spider Man, do some Spider Man. You love this character, do this character." And it went from there. But if I didn't have that circle, if I didn't have those people there in my corner when I was down, who knows where I would be right now?
Exactly. And that's
So,
why having those people as your backbone, man, and having your wife as a backbone. See, that's what your wife is supposed to be. Your backbone. You know what I
mm,
mean? Your rib and everything that surrounds your body. She's supposed to be the one that comes in and help you through. Not saying that she's not strong herself, but
mm.
what I'm saying, it's that's just the way it's got to be. Because if she can't pick you up when you're down, that's not. What I'm saying, just like your friend. If your friend can't pick you up when you're down, then what the fuck are they? They're not your friend.
Are they really your friend at that point?
Exactly. There's some friends. There's some people that call themselves your friend, and will watch you fall, and then watch you try to get up, and then fall again. They won't help you up because a lot of them, some of them are very selfish in that way. Some of them are don't care, and some are rooting for you to get right back up on your own so you can
You
learn.
could always tell who the real ones are because they are happy for your success and not for your failures, and they're there
Exactly.
when you have your failures. They're there to help you get back to success. Like
Hmm.
if you have someone that says they're your friend, but if you start winning at something and they start feeling some type of way about it and getting, well, why not me? Why not this? That's not really a friend. That's not
That's
really someone that you should have in your corner.
That's
Like you
somebody
should,
that's been
we should
hating
all
on
be
you
happy
from
when each other gets to eat. All
that's
should
that's
be happy when someone gets to succeed at something.
exactly. That's just somebody that's had been hating on you from jump, and you need to get rid of them. You know
You
what
know,
I'm saying?
when one of my art friends does something amazing, or they get a comic book cover, or they'll get this or whatever, I'm happy. Like I'm happy for them because I know if I was to get that, they would be happy for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then you have some people that they look at it where, well, if they got it, how come I didn't get it? How come I don't have that? Or why do they deserve that when I don't got it? Like you gotta take those type of people out. Like you can't have that type of energy being brought into your stuff. Like you want it to be all positivity and just building each other up.
Right. Right. Okay. Well. All right. We have this part. I have this part of the part of the. I have this segment part of the show where I give you 60 seconds to promote your shit and to give the audience, the people that's coming into this industry or any industry, the advice on how to do things and give them advice on what can they do to succeed. You know, go ahead.
Okay. So like I said, I'm a digital artist. I love doing like just digital art, paintings, uh, comic colorings and stuff like that. Because I've always traveling. I never really had time to do comic book work. Now that I'm taking a break from traveling because I'm moving down to Florida, now I'm open to working on books, taking commissions and stuff like that. So if you need someone who's going to do digital colors, or if you want, a dope variant cover in a different style, hit me up. I'm more than happy to work on the book and do something dope for you. And in terms of if you are wanting to get into this, one, be smart about your work, your worth, research. Don't just jump in blindly. Like research what you need, what type of investment you got to put in because it is an investment. And I always tell people it is an investment. You have to invest into yourself. It's going to cost money. Like you're going to have to go in. You're going to go in a hole because you've spent that money to build yourself up where your presentation, your visuals are going to be on point. You got your work printed on good paper, whatever it might be. If you're working on comic books, you got your comics printed out nice, not just you don't go to a local Kinko's and just print them out there and just say call it a day. Like you got to put in the work to be able to get the reward for the work. You can't just not put in the work. And
That's
always
right.
seek out advice. If someone's not willing to give you advice, don't just be like, oh, well, no one's going to give me advice. There's always someone who's going to be willing to give you advice. You just got to be willing to network and connect with people and see who's going to be in your corner, who's not going to be in your corner.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Ah, well, my good people, everybody, it's been well. Thank y'all for tuning into the In Your Face show. Boom! We thank you. And it's the In Your Face show. And we out of here.
Yeah,
Bye.
it was awesome, bro. Awesome.